silence. The sound travels much better in water than it does in air. So a drop, wrench, or any clanging about the boat can be heard for miles, thus giving away their location. And they actually knew that they were being hunted because for 2 weeks prior to June 4th of 1944, they heard this pinging sound. This sound is the sound of Captain Gallery's sonar as it bounces off the hull of the boat, tracking them. Because of this, another order was given, and that was any man who wasn't on duty was sent to bed. This is going to be for 2 reasons. First is theoretically a sleeping man is going to be more quiet than an awake one, and the second was to conserve on oxygen. At best, this boat could stay underwater for 36 hours. After that, she'd have to rise to the surface to get more air, and then also to recharge the batteries for the electric motors, because you're running your electric motors when you're below the surface of the water, and your diesel engines when you're on the top. Of course, when you're being hunted, the last thing you ever want to do is resurface. Unfortunately, every 36 hours or so, you must. So, while you're up there, you take that opportunity to get more air, recharge your electric motors, survey your surroundings. And like I said, while they were on the conning tower on June 4th, 1944, they saw that hunter-killer task group 22.3 gaining on them. So, Captain Longa ordered this boat to go to a depth of 500 feet. 500 feet is a very dangerous depth for this boat, as you have 16 tons per square foot of water pressure pressing in on your hull. You are also getting quite close to your crush depth, which is only approximated at 755 feet. When you're at this dangerous depth and being hunted by your enemy, the last thing you'd ever want to hear are these splashes. See, these splashes are depth charges, and once they reach a certain depth within the water, they explode. And if we were on the boat when these explosions were going off, we would be full on, up and down across this room. You'd have to hang on for dear life. These explosions could knock out all of these instruments. In effect, one of those depth charges jams the rudders. So helmsman calls to Captain Long and says, "Our rudders are jammed. We are now spiraling out of control, going deeper and deeper into the sea." Captain Long knows the only way to save his crew is to resurface the boat. So he gives the orders to blow the ballast tanks, and they begin to ascend. But once they reach the surface of the water, and Captain Longa and his radio man climb this ladder, open the hatch of the conning tower, and look around, they are surrounded by Captain Gallery on the hunter-killer task group 22.3 and are met with 6 minutes of gunfire. During these 6 minutes, Captain Longa, his executive officer, and his engineering officer were all wounded, and the radio man was fatally injured. Surrounded on all sides, their captain wounded, the crew of the U505 now must scuttle the boat or sink it on purpose. There are 2 ways that they can do that. The first way would be to put 14 explosive charges around the boat, set as booby traps, and the second way would be to take off the cap of the sea strainer. The sea strainer is a pipe that's a direct line to the ocean water, so when the cap comes off, water comes rushing into the boat, allowing us to sink it faster. Once the Germans did this, they evacuated. Then, not long after that, a 9-man American boarding party came aboard and gathered up any and all documents that they could lay their hands on. Luckily, they found the cap of the sea strainer, which instead of being flung overboard, had them left sitting right next to the sea strainer. So picture that, put it back out, locked it, and saved the boat from sinking.